What, were you expecting another video? Forget about it. Anyways, so today I'm going to make a repair that I know for a fact it's relatively easy. I've already fixed two of these, and I have a third one here. This right here is the very rare, yet for some odd reason, very, there's a lot of these here. The Saint Fighter Phoenix Armour Phoenix Memorial Version Saint Cloth Series. But wait for it. What a great fighter. Anyways, this is one of those really like knockoff toys in a nutshell from the 90s where they would grab the head of a figure, make it bigger, and adjust it so it actually fits into a robot body, and they would put the body of a pre-existing robot but completely golden. Very cool. I like it a lot. It's so weird. Now, I have three of these now. One is for me, one's for Kevin, and then I got this one to replace my second one. And I haven't even taken it out of the box ever since I got it, so what you're looking at is the very first time I'm going to actually rip it out of the box to test it out and everything. But I know these usually have three gears that are broken. The selective gear, or selector gear, the one that goes up and down, the motor shaft gear, of course, and the helical gear. And I'm going to show how to fix those three in this video. I have the feeling I'm going to be able to nail all of those things in this video right here, because it's just easy. It's probably one of the easiest robots to fix because it's brand new. You don't have to clean it. Maybe a little lubrication, maybe a little bit, because why not? But then it's just gluing gears and everything. And I can finally show the trick I do with these things. So we're gonna take it out of the well, first we're gonna see the box. Let's see that it has nothing to do with the toy itself. Phoenix Armour, it's basically either knockoff or original Bandai figures. Those like postable ones that were... These things back in the 90s were a fucking trend. Everybody liked the Saint Seiya figures from Bandai, so a lot of companies started making their own copies and bootlegs and such. And of course, this is what led us with a lot of these awesome robot-looking things. We have this one, we have the Pegasus Cloth, that's basically a large Nessus-type robot with a claw in the chest. And then we have the best ones, in my humble opinion, the Super S Heroes, which are the ones that walk, talk, yell fire, they shoot and everything, and they're posable, really nice things. So, let's get into it. First of all, we gotta just take all the shit that's in, because it actually has all of its accessories, and it's more than 10, I think. There we go. Nothing in the box, alright. So the whole backstory, how do I get these things? Because a lot of people are going to be like, Ivan, how the fuck do you get these things? Well, a person in between my contacts, or in between everyone's contacts, because he's in a Facebook group, he has dead stock of these things. He has a lot of these. He had a lot of the Pegasus Cloth, but I don't believe he still has. But he had a bunch, and the first time I saw him list them online, I actually bought one back in 2018. He also has, or had, I'm not really sure, I don't think, those smaller ones that basically are pin walkers that you could normally put like weapons in the hands and they would actually spin, I believe. I don't really know, because I never really purchased one. I'm not too interested in those. If I see another one, like if I see one for cheap, I'm going to buy it. But again, I'm not too interested on those tiny ones. And of course, still, he's got a shitload of these. Again, very cool. The best thing out of all, it's definitely from... This is what I meant in the last videos, where I said that there's robots that were made after the top robot that are still Galaxy... they are still Super Mechanic Fighter influenced. They still are, they still have the structure and everything, and they're based off that one and not off the newer versions. This is one of them. This is basically completely based off a Galaxy Super Mechanic Fighter. Not sure what version, but it is. You can even see the little hoses here, the holes where the hoses would go, and these holes where they would attach to. But of course here what they used it for is for the shoulder pieces. You basically just put the shoulder pieces like that, and you have the robot with some shoulder caps and everything. Again, really cool looking. It has a Saint Fighter sticker. Thankfully, there's no screws or anything. Like it's a tin gearbox. That's another thing that I forgot to say. That's what's so cool about these. They have a tin gearbox, so you don't have that many gears to fix. It's the main gear that makes it all go, that on the other one split. In this one, it's a brass gear. So that's very cool. It has the, the arms that go up. It walks forward. It spins 3 or 4 times. These have a defect. All of these, I don't know why they have a defect where they spin a 4th time. For some stupid reason, but yeah. And of course, they have the, I'm not sure if there's any Galaxy robot with a switch like this, but this one has the switch in the side. And here it says off and on, because of course the older Galaxies had the tab switch thing. Other than that, the gearbox, you can take it off. It has pegs. Like, the gearbox has holes. The body has pegs, so it goes there. I'm supposing that you can take off the battery cover easily, but I'm not going to remove it. On this one, the shooter, the little clicker inside is actually riveted on. So let's put batteries and see what all it does. Now, this guy sells them, and he says, yeah, they don't do anything. They just don't work. And it's true, because of the gears. Let's see. Well, just what I expected. Yep. There we go. And it shit a battery. Okay. So I guess I know what to... Okay. Okay, so I guess I know what to actually... aim for here. What I gotta aim for. The helical gear is broken. The selector gear is broken too, because it doesn't spin. When the robot just goes like the arms go up and that's it, it's because that selector gear is actually split and it literally slips on the shaft. So the thing doesn't, it doesn't spin or anything. It's got an extra effort when it spins because of the little clicker type piece. So anyways, I believe that's it. I mean, after that, of course, it has holes that you can actually put a helmet on. You put this helmet on it, and it's got this other little piece that you slide on here, like this, to give it the proper helmet type thing. Lots of things that have to be adjusted afterwards. These little, like, ball shits, I don't know what the fuck they are. Don't fucking hate me. I wasn't alive in that, in the time these shits were popular, but I suppose they go like this or something on the back. I do know they go before the wings. I know that. But again, who the fuck cares? So, I'll take all of this shit off and we're going to begin with the repair. Okay, the other thing I forgot to mention, aside from all of this, is that these, oddly enough, they do share the accessories with other robots. From, the same knockoff ones that are either made by other companies or are actually made by the same company. I'm not really sure, but you can find these weapons in an S-Fighter, in a Super S-Fighter, and that's like the furthest example I have, because they are definitely made by another company. The Super S-Fighters are made by the same makers as Super S Heroes, a giant walking spinning robot series that they made back in the late 90s. However, they have the same fucking thing. They have the same handle. You can literally put these in the hands of a Super S-Fighter. They're gonna look good, because that's how some actually came. Some came like that. And that's one of the few things they have in common. Alrighty. Boxes away. So let me see. There's no zoom. That's... Oh, shit. No. Okay, no zoom. So we're gonna begin with the repair, the surgery, should I call it. I have my iron ready in case I gotta take something off. Even though I kind of doubt I would have to, because again, these are so easy to fix. I don't think you even have to take apart the gearbox, at least the upper half. You don't. The issue I was afraid I was gonna have. Some of the screws are very jammed. Very fucking jammed. There we go. But thankfully these are the large ones, so you can actually do it with a flat head. Okay. Take the body off for the first time. So as I said, here's the gearbox. It's all tin. You can take the arms off right away. And again, they have the same fucking structure as the Milky Way because, again, all are galaxy-based in one or other instance. This is literally a golden shower galaxy super mechanic fighter piece of crap, but with a faggot head on it. Hey. Anyways. So this is pretty much the gearbox, and this gear, I'm pretty sure that gear is going to be split. Let's see. Yep, I can see the split right over there. Right there. There's the split. So basically this will try to go up. It goes up, but it doesn't spin. And I took the battery out again. Or did I? There we go. See how that thing actually slips? That's not normal. Now it's going to go up. It's going to try to go up. It's not going to spin. But then it's going to drop down again. It's... And yeah, speaking of lubrication, yeah, this thing's going to have to be lubricated. Now, another gear that could probably split, and I see it splitting very soon. Not this one yet, but I know that. Again, it's just like those Happy Kit robots, so... It's basically a gear that's firm on a shaft, so the A-tooth section there is going to break first, I'm sure about it. And, of course, the large, because there's a giant helical gear as well in the bottom of the body. To make the, you know... to make the legs move and everything. So the first thing I'm going to try to do here is lubricate the motor a little bit so that I don't have to do that later. Okay, rather do it like this. Just a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit underneath here, so it gets to the brushes, and there we go. So again, the robot, it jams up when it wants to walk. Of course, there you guys, you heard the shooter. Now, one funny thing is that, of course, you can modify these to actually light up. I'm not going to do it, but if somebody has some fucking hardcore modifying fetishes, you can just make... you know, you can drill holes in the ice, put some red LEDs, those that have like how's it called? Those that are red, you know, the ones that don't shine that much, so you can actually see that the eyes are fucking red. You can literally just drill 2 holes and put that. And you got to do the same shit that they made on all of the other robots that actually have it enabled. There's this clicker piece on here. You just put a wire here, and then you hook up a wire around here, and that's it. You're going to have the thing, you know, going. Either like that or actually to the main gearbox shell. That would be the same, because in this one it's all metallic, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to make contact either way. So what we're going to do with this right now to make it tidy is take it off the body shell so I don't ruin anything, because the chrome on this thing is beautiful. May need a little polishing, but it's beautiful. So here we have all the shit that we got to put away. Now, I'm gonna make the extra step of taking this off already. So you got to take this off. It's got very weak hooks, so do it with patience, do it with love, because if not, you're gonna fuck it up. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I've done 3 of these already. But eventually you're gonna get them out if you do it as careful as I tell you to. It's, let's see, maybe the bottom one's there. Oh, of course, now, that's just beautiful when you have like the fucking little bits of plastic that they leak from the fucking factory just hooking onto your thing here. Okay, so I can do that. Or I can just do the other way, which is not too recommended, and it's just take these flaps off to like split the body in half. But again, I don't want to take apart the gearbox, so we're going to make it the Ivan way. Okay, there we go. So here's a crotch piece. Again, 4 hooks, I mean. And they go on the slots. That's the giant helical gear I'm talking about. And if you guys can see, there's our beautiful crack that we're going to have to repair right the fuck there. So now, what do we do with this? We have to straighten these 2 flaps to release the bottom assembly. So it's going to actually take me a little bit to figure, but I think with a knife I can do it. Yep, I can do it with a knife. Very good. So now we need pliers. That's the only thing I forgot. The fucking pliers. And you guys can see that the body is looser now. And we're just going to straighten them completely. Or at least enough for me to like stick these things and straighten them up. There we go. Alrighty then. So here we have the bottom. Nothing to do on the bottom. I believe it's going to walk properly. The gear is not broken. That's very good. It's even still kind of greasy. That's pretty good. So that goes there. Here's what we need to fix. And I'm going to take it off. This is the main shaft. It's what basically, you know, holds the body. Well, not holds the body together because that would be this cap, but it's basically what keeps the body aligned. And it's pretty much one of the very crucial things for both walking and spinning because this contains the gears. You guys can see there the helical gear that I'm talking about. I don't really know. I'm actually going to, you know, mark it down. What side is what, even though it looks the same. I'm going to put like, okay, the little blue mark is the bottom. So the thing is the bottom. I'm not too sure exactly how much space, because that's another thing I wanted to check. How much space do I have to leave between the body, gear, and everything? Okay, I think I'm good with the space. Actually, it's heading the top. Well, the bottom, I mean. So I guess it's fine. So I'm gonna take this off. We don't really need to take all of the thing apart. We don't really need to like take this thing off, but you can actually unclip this, and you can actually unclip this once you've taken this cap off by undoing these 3 flaps. There's 2 in the back, 1 in the front. And then all you do is just slide this, I believe it was upwards, because you actually have to slide it downwards for it to click in place, but slide it upwards and you have the bare gearbox. But as I said, I love the fact that it's all metal. So there's like, you know, you don't have to fear of shattering the plastic. The only thing that's really bad about the tin is that if you undo it and redo it too many times, the fucking flaps break. But we're not going to be into this thing all the time, won't we? Okay. Now, the little gear here has to go, because I got to remove the other gear. It has like a loop on it. Again, a classic 8-tooth motor shaft gear. That's not a big deal. We have a few, but I'm not really sure. Again, I ran out of gears. I already ran out of gears, so I need more gears soon. And I don't really get them in Argentina anymore because it's just annoying as fuck to like go and have the you know, get a complete set of gears to just have one that actually is useful for something. Because if you know, what they sell here is not the lot of the small gears. They sell a lot of any type of gears, belts, this shit, this that. And even though most of the things tend to come useful at one point, it's still a pain in the ass because you really want just these motor shaft gears, and a lot of them, because you know that those are like the easiest thing to break. So we're gonna put that in place, and I believe this one came from RoboKid. I thought it was split, but it's not. I don't know why I changed it then. Oh, whatever. And we're gonna put this back in. After all, this doesn't really even need anything else. Okay, so this, I'll move it down a little bit. This is already there. No splits, nothing, gears not loose. Pretty good. So now we're going to go with the magic gear. Or, well, magic. Me and Kevin called it magic gear, but it's actually the selector gear. What we're going to do in this case, I'm going to actually open it. I'm going to actually turn the gearbox on. Well, I mean, power the gearbox and, you know, give it power so that the motor actually... Or I'm just going to force it. I'm going to lift it up so that the gear, you know, if there's a strip of glue that falls, I can actually catch it. But what I do with these, instead of going inside and gluing it like a normal person would do, I just add a dab of glue between the clicker, which is fastened to the you know, to the shaft, and let me just make a zoom over there. I basically just spread these things apart. These things are supposed to be together, okay? So I spread these two apart, and I put a little dab of glue somewhere. It's better if I actually do it in the crack, though. Over here. So I put that over there, and then I do that. Yeah, just that. And we gotta let it sit for a while, but I guarantee you this thing's not gonna come off anytime soon. They never do. At least not on these. You know, on the bigger robots they do, because they're bigger, they're thicker, they're whatever the hell. So now we're going to show the classic zip tie trick. For this, we're going to require a fucking zip tie, because why not? We're going to require the split helical gear. Take it off. We're going to require a beautiful Dremel type drill, which we're going to insert the shaft for the body in place. One thing is I'm gonna reduce the speed, because it has happened at one point that one of these, like, it was this exact same piece. One of these had the gear kind of up centered, so the thing just completely, it bent. The shaft bent. I was turning it too fast and it bent. So what you do is you put it like this, because you're gonna use this as a drill bit. And then what you do is you grab the helical gear, and as you guys see, it's cracked, of course, but you grab the zip tie, and you put it around the diameter to actually close it down. Like this, see? So the gear is actually closed down. Convincing enough, isn't it? Well, here's the catch. What I'm going to do right now is turn the drill on and put this up and down until the hole starts melting. This is going to melt the gear from the inside, so it's going to stay together, and at the same time it's going to make the hole bigger. So here we go with that. Sometimes it's going to have a little traction to it. When you see it's starting to gain a lot of traction, take it off. Let the shaft cool down a little bit, because the shaft is going to get very hot. Because you're literally just rubbing it against the inside of a gear. And of course, every time you do this, you got to take the excess off. You know, the melted plastic that comes out. You got to take that off from both sides with the cutter knife thing. So at some given point, you're going to feel that the hole is big, so the thing's going to spin more freely and it's going to be loose. Whenever it's more loose than this, let me see. Now it's ready. It's actually ready. So we're going to take the little bit off that was left. And now the bad thing about these is that on the, let's basically say the larger robots, or mainly there's also small robots that use the same trick. We're talking about Robot Leader, Commander, Fighters King, Cosmic Robot, Zodox of any type, Galaxy Rangers, big and small, Robot King, big and small. We're talking about a lot of these. Even the 2001, Robot 2001 and the mini one, they have the gear just, you know, stuck to here. So in those, you can actually glue plastic with plastic at the same time as plastic with shaft. On this one, you really can't. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to glue it over here. Over the you know, the area where I believe it's okay. And we're going to keep adding glue until the inside gets filled. So I no longer need the drill. So what I'm going to do right now is, let's see, how can I do it properly without ruining it? So the first thing I got to do is, you got this liquid super glue, and you got to, you know, oh, this gear is also split, but this one's tougher. It's not going to break. So what I do, of course, is I put the thing in. I'm going to actually put another bit of glue in between the teeth. It's got to go in between the teeth. That's one thing. The more it goes between the teeth, the better. Because that's what's going to generate. It's going to be stuck to the diameter, and it's as well going to make the shape of the teeth. So it's going to be, you know, harder to you know, take off. Again, not as hard as the new gear, a new helical gear that you can just, you know, that's brand new. The plastic is new, and it's perfect. But at least it's something for these robots. It's tough for the work they have to do. So then a little bit on the top, and then I'm gonna dry that off, just if there's any gaps. And I suppose that with this, if we let this sit for a while, we're going to be ready to reassemble the robot. As I said, easy as a fucking piece of cake. So I will take off the zoom, pause the video, let it sit for like a few minutes or so, and I'll be back whenever I feel like this is dry and everything. Let's see. I'm just putting it here. Hold on. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, the time has passed. It's time to take the zip tie off. I don't recommend doing it like this, though, because you can actually damage the teeth. So I'm going to just open it up a little bit and then let it go. There we go. Well, here is our finished gear. You guys can hardly notice the crack. The crack is actually over there. But you can hardly notice it because it's glued together and it's melted together. So this is going to make it. Now we're going to put this shit back on. Okay, it was still in the spinning position. So now it's actually going to spin. But right now I don't really need it to spin. I need it to get the fuck down. Because again, these do spin around 3 or 4 times depending on if it's properly adjusted or not. I'm not going to adjust it, but my first one, it spun 4 times. The one from Kevin, I think, also spins 4 times. It's just not supposed to. It's supposed to spin 3 times at most, but... Okay, so once again, I'm going to have to put these flaps like they were. It's going to be a little hard, though. Oh, you can actually separe the legs a little bit. Never mind, I forgot about that. So, I hope I don't stab my hand, because I have that stupid tendency to snap, you know, to stab my own hand. Alright. A lot of people are going to be saying, why don't you just 3D print new gears? I don't have the proper printer, and I don't have the proper nozzle, and I don't have... And plus, if I were to print gears, they would probably be noisier than standard PVC gears, so why should I bother? Anyway, so here we go with this. Again, here's the 2 pegs that I was talking about. So I'm going to reconnect the wires. And we're going to probably see the robot walking and spinning for the first time properly. I don't want to melt. Okay, what the hell's this? Did I put my soldering iron on there? You see, that's why I hate dealing with the, I hate soldering with the skirt on. Because this skirt, as I call it, usually I solder like this, and I end up touching the border of the skirt, and that's really stupid, Okay, so we have one wire. Now the negative, which is actually the probably the whole ground of the body, the whole ground of the thing itself. So we're gonna see if it works or not. And as I'm really convinced it's gonna work at the first shot, I'm going to assemble it. So you guys understand that I'm not fucking kidding. This thing is gonna work at the first shot. There. Alright. Alright, let's see how this goes. First time, eh? Oh, were the batteries actually shorting out? God damn it. Yeah, this is why I don't use rechargeables anymore. Or I mean, I hate using rechargeables, because this is the type of shit that they do. Oh, no, no, no. You see, this is the type of shit that they do. They ruin the springs. They heat up and they ruin the springs. They short out in between themselves and they fuck the whole toy up. It happened with my Titty Rock Spin. It happened with Zodax. It happens with a lot of things, and I hate it when it fucking happens. And it's because my batteries are no longer properly isolated from the sides. And if I were to put some tape or something, it would make a sticky mess. And at the same time, it would make them thicker. And they would not even fit into the... God damn it. Okay, there we go. I think this is fast enough. Okay, let's see what about now. There's a little unexpected grinding somewhere. But it's definitely not the gear, because that's not off-centered or anything. Not too sure what exactly it is, but there's a little grinding sometimes with the legs. Well, I suppose that's it. This is another robot that was fixed. As I said before, it's easy as that. It's easy as doing that. There's no other, well, there's other ways of doing it, of course, but again, this is the easiest, the most simple one, and that's how you can have one of these pieces of junk working. So thank you for watching, and that's it. I'll have to put the pieces back on, but yeah, that's practically the point of the video. So thank you for watching.